Imagine waking up just as the first sliver of dawn begins to peek through the curtains. The world around you is hushed and still. You slowly flutter your eyelids open and turn your gaze toward the digital clock resting on your bedside table. To your surprise, the glowing red or green numbers appear much softer than you remember from years past. The edges of the light seem to bleed into the darkness, creating a hazy blur. You blink hard, once, twice, 3 times, hoping to clear the fog. You reach for your spectacles, slide them onto the bridge of your nose, and squint. The digits sharpen, but only marginally. Your eyes don't just feel tired, they feel parched, scratchy, and uncomfortably gritty, almost as if someone had sprinkled a fine layer of sand over them while you slept. This isn't a one-time occurrence. Lately, you've noticed it's taking longer and longer for your vision to settle into the day. That delay brings with it a creeping sense of unease. You might try to brush it off, telling yourself it's just the natural tax of getting older. You blame the decades of reading under dim lamps, the hours spent watching late-night broadcasts, or the modern habit of scrolling through your smartphone before sleep. You accept the glare, the strain, and the dryness as the inevitable price of aging. But deep down, a small, persistent voice asks, what if this is more than just a birthday milestone? What if this is the start of something serious? My name is Dr. Samuel Cross. I have dedicated the better part of my professional life to helping older adults safeguard their precious gift of sight using practical, down-to-earth strategies. These are methods that don't always require a trip to a sterile clinic or a mounting pile of prescriptions. I want to share a vital truth with you. The first line of defense for your vision doesn't have to be a chemical drug or an invasive surgery. It can be found in a simple, nightly habit involving natural oils that have been trusted for generations. Imagine incorporating a pure, time-tested substance into your evening routine. Something that allows your eyes to remain calm, shielded, and hydrated throughout the night. Today, I am going to walk you through 5 extraordinary oils that nourish aging eyes while you are tucked away in bed. These are not miracle cures or fleeting internet trends. They are research-supported natural compounds designed to feed your eye tissues, soothe irritation, and assist the delicate cells in your eyes as they undergo their nightly repair cycle. Before we get into the details, I want to hear from you. Where are you joining us from today? And more importantly, how has your vision been treating you lately? Are you experiencing that frustrating dryness, a sudden blur when reading, or general discomfort? Please share your location and a brief note about your eye health in the comments. I personally review these messages because they help me understand the real-world challenges you face. Why your vision changes as the years pass. Vision loss rarely happens like a sudden thunderclap. Instead, it arrives like a slow-moving tide. At first, you might notice that menus in dimly lit restaurants are becoming impossible to navigate. Then, street signs seem a bit fuzzy during your evening drive. Eventually, you find yourself needing more and more light just to read a standard paperback. The specialized cells responsible for picking up fine details are essentially working overtime. Simultaneously, the protective barriers that used to function automatically now require a bit of assistance. Blood circulation to the microscopic vessels surrounding the eye can begin to sluggishly decline. The natural moisture film that keeps your eye surface slick and smooth can start to thin out. This isn't because your eyes are broken, it's because they are sending you a signal. They are asking for extra support, particularly during your hours of rest. The good news is that you are far from helpless. By introducing specific natural oils into your system before sleep, you provide the healthy fats and antioxidants necessary to nourish the retina, calm the surface, and help your vision cells renew themselves. Let's explore these 5 potent allies for your eyesight. 1. Fish oil, the night guard for your retina. The first oil on our list might look like a simple, golden, translucent pill, but for the aging eye, it acts as a dedicated night watchman. Fish oil is harvested from cold water species like sardines, mackerel, and salmon. These fish are packed with essential fats that your body is incapable of producing on its own. Specifically, we are looking at 2 omega-3 fatty acids, DHA, docosahexaenoic acid, and EPA, eicosapentaenoic acid. The power of DHA and EPA. DHA is a primary structural component of the retina, the light-sensitive layer at the back of the eye that functions like the film in a camera. EPA, on the other hand, is a master at cooling down inflammation that can slowly degrade eye tissues over time. When you take fish oil in the evening, these fats circulate through your bloodstream precisely when your body enters its peak repair mode. The retina is a high-energy environment. It works non-stop to convert light into the images your brain understands. Because it is so active, it requires cell walls that are flexible and fluid. DHA provides the building blocks to keep these cell membranes supple. If the membranes become stiff or brittle, the cells can't communicate effectively and your vision begins to dim. Fighting macular degeneration. You may have heard the term age-related macular degeneration, AMD. This refers to the gradual breakdown of the macula, the center of the retina responsible for sharp, straight-ahead vision. Research has consistently shown that individuals with higher levels of omega-3s in their diet often experience much slower progression of these age-related changes. Fish oil isn't a quick-fix drug. It is a way to make your retina fundamentally more resilient against the passage of time. How to start your fish oil routine. To get the most out of this, I recommend a consistent nightly habit. Most experts suggest a combined dose of 1,000 milligrams to 1,500 milligrams of DHA and EPA. Timing. Take it with a small evening snack to help with absorption and prevent any fishy aftertaste. Consistency. Keep the bottle right next to your toothbrush so you never forget. While you won't wake up the next morning with supervision, over the course of several weeks, you may find that you are less bothered by dim lighting and that reading feels less like a chore. I remember a patient named Arthur, a 70-year-old woodworker. He loved his craft, but found he couldn't see the fine grain of the wood as well as he used to. After 2 months of a steady nightly fish oil regimen, he told me the visual static had cleared. He wasn't squinting at his measurements anymore. He gave his eyes the structural support they were starving for. 2. Extra virgin olive oil, the surface smoother. While fish oil works deep inside the eye, our second oil, extra virgin olive oil, EVOO, focuses its energy on the surface. By the time evening rolls around, your eyes have likely been battered by blue light from screens, dry air conditioning, or wind. This is what leads to that sandy sensation that makes it so hard to relax at night. Olive oil is far more than just a kitchen staple. It is a complex biological fluid rich in oleic acid and a unique antioxidant known as hydroxytyrosol. The Mediterranean secret for dry eyes. In the Mediterranean, this liquid gold has been used for centuries to treat various ailments. Modern science now confirms that these compounds act as a shield for the eye. Oleic acid helps soothe the microscopic inflammation on the surface of the eye, while hydroxytyrosol hunts down oxidative stress, the biological sparks that can damage your cells. Improving tear quality. A fascinating study from 2021 looked at seniors struggling with chronic dry eyes. One group added a tablespoon of olive oil to their evening routine, while the other used a generic oil. After 3 months, the olive oil group didn't just feel better. Laboratory tests showed they had a much more stable tear film. Your tear film is a thin layer of moisture that protects the cornea. If this film is too thin or evaporates too quickly, every blink feels like sandpaper. Olive oil helps your glands produce a richer, oilier tear that stays on the eye longer. Putting it into practice. I once worked with a woman named Eleanor who was constantly waking up at 3 a.m. to put in eye drops. Her eyes felt like they were stuck to her eyelids. After she started taking a small spoonful of high-quality olive oil with her dinner, those midnight wake-ups stopped. The routine. Amount: 1 to 2 teaspoons of high-quality extra virgin olive oil. Method: drizzle it over your evening vegetables, mix it into a bit of soup, or take it right off the spoon. Selection: always look for oil in a dark glass bottle labeled cold pressed. Heat and light destroy the very nutrients your eyes need. 3. Black seed oil, the inflammation quencher. Our third oil moves into deeper territory. It targets the hidden heat or internal inflammation that makes your eyes feel hot, heavy, and exhausted by the end of the day. Black seed oil, derived from Nigella sativa, has been called the remedy for everything in ancient Middle Eastern and Asian traditions. The power of thymoquinone. The secret sauce inside black seed oil is a compound called thymoquinone. This is a powerful anti-inflammatory agent that specifically targets the signals in your body that keep tissues angry and swollen. For an aging eye, chronic low-level inflammation can damage the optic nerve and the retina, leading to a permanent decline in clarity. Cooling the inner heat. When your eyes feel strained after watching the news or reading, it's often because the internal tissues are overworked and inflamed. Black seed oil acts like a cooling balm from the inside out. In clinical observations, seniors who used a small nightly dose reported a significant reduction in redness and the burning sensation that often accompanies long days. I remember George, a retired engineer who suffered from what he called hot eyes. He felt like his eyes were constantly radiating heat. He started taking a half teaspoon of black seed oil with a slice of cheese, the fat helps absorption, about an hour before bed. Within a month, he said the fire had gone out. His eyes just felt quiet again. How to use black seed oil. Dose: start with half a teaspoon to 1 teaspoon nightly. Pairing: always take it with a little bit of healthy fat, like yogurt or avocado, to ensure the thymoquinone is fully absorbed. Expectations: this oil is potent and has a strong, spicy taste. You won't see a change in one night, but by week 3 or 4, the reduction in redness and strain is often quite noticeable. 4. Sea buckthorn oil, the lubrication specialist. The fourth oil comes from a hardy, bright orange berry that survives in some of the harshest climates on Earth. Sea buckthorn oil is unique because it is one of the very few plant sources of omega-7, palmitoleic acid, revitalizing mucous membranes. While omega-3s are great for the retina, omega-7 is the specialist for mucous membranes, the moist linings of your body, including the surface of your eyes. As we age, these linings tend to dry out, leading to chronic irritation. Sea buckthorn oil also contains a high concentration of carotenoids and vitamin E, which act as antioxidants to protect the outer layers of the eye from environmental damage, like dust or smoke. The Finland study. A famous study from the University of Turku in Finland involved 100 people with dry eye symptoms. Those who took sea buckthorn oil capsules daily for 3 months showed a remarkable improvement in the stability of their tears. They weren't just adding water to their eyes. They were improving the quality of the lubrication. Why it works for mornings. If you are someone who wakes up and has to blink repeatedly just to get the crust or fog out of your eyes, sea buckthorn is for you. It helps your eyes stay lubricated through the long hours of sleep when your lids are closed and tear production naturally slows down. The routine. Dose: 500 milligrams to 1,000 milligrams in capsule form. Timing: take half your dose in the morning and the other half with your evening snack. Result: most people, like my former student Patricia, find that after a month, they no longer brace themselves when they open their eyes in the morning. The sandpaper feeling simply disappears. 5. Avocado oil, the internal sunglasses. The final oil in our toolkit is avocado oil. This oil is specifically geared toward protecting your central vision, the part of your sight that allows you to recognize the faces of your grandchildren, read the fine print on a medicine bottle, and see the road clearly at night. Lutein and zeaxanthin, the golden pigments. Avocado oil is naturally rich in 2 specific pigments, lutein and zeaxanthin. These are often called macular pigments. Your body actually deposits these pigments directly into the macula, the center of your retina. Think of these pigments as internal sunglasses. They have a very specific job. They filter out high-energy blue light. Blue light comes from the sun, but it also blasts out of our LED light bulbs, televisions, and tablets. Over years of exposure, this light can bleach or damage the sensitive cells in the macula. By increasing your intake of these pigments via avocado oil, you are essentially thickening your eye's internal protective shield. Seeing better in the dark. In a 6-month study of older adults, those who supplemented with these pigments showed a measurable increase in macular pigment density. What did that mean for their daily lives? They had better contrast sensitivity. They could see objects more clearly against a dark background and were less blinded by the glare of oncoming headlights while driving at night. How to incorporate avocado oil. Avocado oil has a very high quote-unquote smoke point, making it great for cooking. But for eye health, you want the unrefined, cold-pressed version, which retains its green tint and nutrients. Dose: 1 to 2 teaspoons in the evening. Usage: it has a wonderful buttery flavor. You can dip a bit of whole grain bread into it or stir it into your evening yogurt. Benefits: This is a long-term play. It takes about 2 to 3 months for the pigment levels in your eyes to rise significantly. However, once they do, you may find that the world looks a bit quote-unquote sharper and that bright lights aren't as bothersome. Your step-by-step vision protection plan. I don't want you to run out and try all 5 of these tonight. When it comes to natural health, slow and steady always wins the race. Your body needs time to adjust to these healthy fats. Here is the roadmap I suggest for my patients. Month 1, the foundation. Start with fish oil. This provides the structural building blocks your retina needs. Take your 1,000 to 1,500 milligram dose every single night with a small snack. This is about protecting the hardware of your eye. Month 2, the moisture layer. Once the fish oil is part of your routine, introduce extra virgin olive oil. Use 1 tablespoon during your evening meal. You'll likely notice that your eyes start feeling less tired and scratchy by the time you go to bed. Month 3, the calm. Add black seed oil. Start with a half teaspoon. This is the stage where we address that deep-seated inflammation. You might notice the redness in the corners of your eyes starts to fade. Month 4, the shield and detail. Finally, bring in sea buckthorn and avocado oil. This duo works on the quality of your tears and the sharpness of your central vision. A final thought on your independence. Maintaining your vision is about so much more than just seeing letters on a page. It is about your independence. It's about being able to drive yourself to the grocery store, being able to cook your favorite meals without struggling to see the dials on the stove, and being able to see the expressions on the faces of the people you love. When you take a moment each evening to nourish your eyes with these natural oils, you are making a quiet promise to yourself. You are saying that your quality of life matters and that you are willing to give your body the tools it needs to thrive, even as the calendar pages turn. Join the conversation. If you have found this information helpful, please let me know. Type "I watched till the end" in the comments below. It helps me know that you are committed to your health. Also, I'm curious, which of these 5 oils are you going to try first? Fish oil for the retina? Olive oil for moisture? Black seed oil for inflammation? Sea buckthorn for dry morning eyes? Avocado oil for sharpness and glare? Please share this with a friend or a family member who might be worried about their changing vision. Often, people feel like they are just stuck with failing eyesight, and your share could give them the hope and the practical steps they need to take control. Thank you for spending this time with me. Be consistent with your habits, stay patient with your body, and keep looking forward to a clearer future. I am Dr. Samuel Cross, and I look forward to helping you stay strong and independent.